5 times before you press that send button. Talking when you're under the influence. This is something that happens and it's very, very common. You could reveal secrets, things that you're never supposed to say, people are not supposed to know. You could end up speaking them to the wrong people in the wrong place. When you're speaking to children, be very careful the words that you use and how you speak to them, because they take things literally until a certain age. If you promise something, make sure you fulfill it, because you will never hear the end of it, and that thing will get into the back of their mind. The things you might tell someone in confidence because you're not discerning enough to know could be used against you. Your innermost secrets could be spoken about in places where you wouldn't want them spoken about. Words sometimes are all you have. Use them with care. This has been Self-Care Tips. I am Irene Joroge.
Athletics Kenya Cross Country Series climaxes this Saturday, January 21st at Kenya Prisons Staff Training College, Ruiru, with the National Cross Country Championships. Kenya's cross-country luminaries will compete in the event, which is also a gateway to a slot in the forthcoming World Athletics and Cross Country Championship due in February in Australia. Catch the National Cross Country Championship live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1 on Saturday from 8:30 a.m. KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Maisha ni mafupi, hivyo si vyema kumaliza muda mwingi katika malumbano. Hesabu baraka zako, wathamini rafiki zako na tabasamu ili udumishe amani.
Kupata maisha, bonyeza *811 *816 hash. *811 *816 hash.
With Glovo, you have anything you want from your city in your hands. Kama unatamani ugali beef ama fried chicken, order Glovo ujaribu restaurant mpya. Tamu. Kama game inawaka na unataka drinks zaidi, order Glovo ushangilie timu yako. Na kama your little one amemess na diaper zimeisha, order Glovo and save the day. With Glovo unaweza track order yako na kuongea na customer support, which is always available. Download the app and order anything you want from your city. We'll deliver.
Right, and a very good evening to you. Many thanks for joining us. This is Easy Friday on this day, the 20th day of January 2023. And you know the anxiety that comes with the release of the KCSE results. Do you remember that day? For those that are old enough now, when the KCSE results were released, I'm sure a whole lot of students today, parents as well, siblings, brothers and sisters, were really anxious waiting for the release of those results. They are now out. And we have a comprehensive coverage of the performance of students in the 2022 KCSE results, looking at different angles, or those angles covered for you here tonight on Easy Friday. I'm riding solo. A detailed coverage of other news that's shaping up politics as well. We have business, sports, and a whole lot more. DJ Cole Jax is on the other side of the studio, bringing you a bit of boogie on a Friday night. That's why we call it Easy Friday, right? But first things first, let's look at the highlights tonight. Here is a bird's view of what we've lined up for you tonight.
The number of candidates with minimum university entry qualification of grade C plus and above has risen to 173,345.
KCSE results are out. 1,146 candidates attain a mid-grade of A, and over 173,000 candidates to join university after obtaining C plus and above. Stop reliance on the exchequer and improve efficiency. Government puts state-owned enterprises on notice. And the Kenya Volleyball Federation League playoffs off at Kasarani as former African Queens Kenya Pipeline trounced defending champions Prisons Kenya by 3 straight sets. All right, many thanks indeed for choosing us tonight. My name is John Kago. 173,345 candidates are set to join university after obtaining C plus and above in the 2022 Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education examinations, in the results released earlier today by Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Mashogu. 1,146 candidates attained a mid-grade of A, while on the other hand, 30,822 got an E. The government has maintained that no learner will be left behind, as there were enough technical and vocational education and training institutions to accommodate those who did not meet the cut to join university. This is the shortest briefing of KCSE examination results release, which took a record of 1 hour.
Friday morning at Mitihani House in Nairobi County. Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu released the 2022 Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education results for the 881,416 candidates. Just as was the case when the 2022 KCPE results were released, the top candidate and school was not revealed. The Education CS highlighting that there was an improvement in the number of candidates that obtained the C plus and above minimum requirement to join university compared to 2021.
The number of candidates with minimum university entry qualification of grade C plus and above has risen to 173,345, forming 19.03% in the year 2022, compared to 145,776, which was 17.55% in 2021.
There were 190 candidates with special needs who managed C plus and above. In the 2022 examinations, 1,146 candidates obtained an overall grade of A, an increase from 1,138 reported in 2021. The number of those who scored A minus stood at 6,407, B plus 15,682, B plain 31,303, B minus 48,719, C plus 70,088. The number of candidates who got an E declined to 30,822 compared to the 46,151 in 2021.
All the remaining candidates are eligible to join TVET in institutions, teacher training colleges, medical training colleges, and other tertiary learning institutions for various courses.
All these students are going to have a place. And I want to say that this is the time when we will need to look into other areas, more so the areas of TVET.
With over 800,000 candidates ready for tertiary education, the Kenya Universities and Colleges Central Placement Service has been urged to move with speed to establish the number of spaces available for immediate placement. Teachers marking the examinations have also been cautioned against any attempts to sabotage the exercise in the future.
We should therefore shun any attempts to put our interests before thousands of candidates whose future we determine through the marking exercise.
That their welfare and indeed even their remuneration will be improved as we move forward.
In the meantime, the 2023 KCP and KCSE eligible candidates will be required to register between the 1st of February 2023 and 31st of March 2023.
Every center has 2 months in which to make sure all the candidates are registered. Registration of candidates is the first step in administering an exam.
The government has reiterated its commitment to ensuring that no learner is left behind, with the 2022 candidates that did not meet the university requirement urged to consider joining TVETs at a time when the nation is transitioning towards a skill-based education system. Nancy Okware, reporting from Mitihani House, Nairobi.
All right, let's dissect this further. Now, male candidates outshined their female counterparts in the 2022 KCSE examinations results released today. Education Cabinet Secretary said 875 males attained grade A compared to 271 girls. 1,962 females scored a mean grade of A- compared to 4,445 recorded by their male counterparts. In the 2022 KCSE examination, 17 subjects recorded a significant improvement in performance compared with 11 subjects that recorded a significant improvement in performance in 2021.
Of the 881,416 candidates who sat the 2022 KCSE examination, 443,644 were male, while 437,772 were female, representing 50.33% and 49.67% of the total candidature respectively.
A, female, we have 271 getting an A. Male, we have 875. A minus, 1,962 female. Male, 4,445.
For yet another year, boys performed better than girls in the Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education examination.
C plus, we have 33,138 female, while male, we have 36,950, which means that the male in this particular category have done better, and I hope going forward the female will also be able to improve so that at least we have some kind of balance.
Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu says the 2022 KCSE examinations attained gender parity, with school registering more female candidates.
Of the total number of candidates that sat the 2022 KCSE examination, 443,644 were male, while 437,772 were female, representing 50.33% and 49.69% of the total candidature, respectively. This statistic means the country has achieved gender parity in much the same way as we have done at the primary school level.
14 counties had more than female candidates in the examinations compared to 17 counties in 2021. These are Mombasa, Kilifi, Tana River, Lamu, Turkana, Samburu, West Pokot, Kajiado, Narok, Homa Bay, Migori, Garissa, Wajir, and Mandera. 7 counties with high gender disparity in favor of female candidates during the 2022 KCSE examination included Kirinyaga, Kiambu, Kitui, Meru, Tharaka Nithi, Vihiga, and Kisumu. 875 males attained grade A compared to 271 females. The number of males who attained A- stood at 4,445, while the females were 1,962. Male candidates with a mean grade of B+ are 9,578, compared to their female counterparts at 6,104. 13,520 females and 17,783 males got grade B, while the females who scored B- were 21,474 and 27,245 were male. Females who scored C+ are 33,138, while the males are 36,950. 70,238 girls and 64,783 boys scored a D+, while D plane was attained by 79,935 girls and 75,545 boys. In the D- category, 84,075 were girls and 83,683 boys. A total of 18,062 students in 2022 KCSE scored an E.
All right, now there were a few cases of irregularities during the 2022 KCSE examinations compared to those of 2021. In the 2021 KCSE results, 441 cases were reported. According to Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Mashogu, 20 mobile phones were confiscated in Garissa County during the examination period. Mashogu, at the same time, applauded the partners in the ICT department in curbing the previously rampant cases of cheating that plagued the examination process. The Education CS said other than the interrupted marking exercise, the process was deemed calm.
We did, changing the system a little bit. I'm happy to report that we really did not experience the kind of cheating, the kind of malpractices that we used to get there before. So I want to thank the Kenya National Examination Council and those who were concerned, all those who were concerned in the administration of the exam, because so far it went on very well. We also got a partnership. We worked very closely with the ICT ministry, so that anybody who was trying to use technology in any kind of cheating, we were able to discover that in good time. So we never experienced the kind of experience we used to get there before.
All right, now our students, parents and teachers flocked to their respective schools across the country to celebrate results of the Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education Examination results. This is after the CS Ezekiel Mashogu made that particular announcement. The celebrants attributed the sterling performance to hard work and cooperation between students, parents and teachers. Now let's bring a roundup of the celebrations that were happening across the country today.
Hiyo yote ni kazi ya walimu, and this is like an appreciation to them and telling them thank you, you have helped us and you have strained and it's not in vain.
I thank God because He has given me such a good grade. I did not expect, but I had hope that I would get. I thank my teachers because they have guided me.
Success is a manufactured product, ya kwamba lazima tutie bidii ndiposa tufanikiwe. Nashukuru pia walimu wetu walikuwa wachapakazi, na usimamizi wa shule pia ulitupatia ile support nzuri.
Personally, I was halfway, but the teachers were really encouraging. The belief they had in me was just unbelievable. They really gave me the support I needed.
And we're excited that last year, March, we had a mean score of 6.6. Now we have improved that to a mean score of 7.01, which is an average of a C+. And above all, we have tremendous results with our top 3 students scoring an A-.
I was working for an A of 84, but I'm very grateful because, when God decides to give you success and He gives it to you, you do nothing else but just thank Him because it's amazing. It's very amazing.
Ninapongeza mamangu na babangu kwa kuwa wamekuwa nami na bado nimeshtuka, lakini nashukuru Mungu.
This was the most disciplined group in our school. Everybody who has been here for a long time actually did a test that indeed they behaved very well and they were always ready and willing to learn.
By God's grace, I've managed to attain grade A of 84 points. And I'm so grateful to God for enabling me to reach this far because I honestly didn't expect it.
Kuna wanafunzi 94 wenye wako na C+ kwenda juu. Hapo tunataka kushukuru uhusiano mwema katikati ya administration na stakeholders. Ndiye imeleta hayo matokeo yakakuwa mazuri.
To say that I'm happy today is just an understatement. I always knew I will do good. I want to take this chance to thank the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has given me this chance to prove myself to the world.
A minor ilikuwa karibu 103, B+ karibu wanafunzi 84, alafu B star ni 42 na B minor ni 26. Na wale wenye walisoa alama ya C+ ni wanafunzi 5.
We have had A-. Last year we had 7, this year we have 14. The B+ we had 29, this year we have 49. The B+ we had 48, this year we had 69. And the B- we had 60, this year we had 64. And the tail, in the tail category, the last girl had a D-.
We are very happy this year. God has done it for us. We have 6 girls who have scored a mean grade of A, which is not a mean achievement. The school mean has also improved.
All right, and congratulations to those that had the sterling performance. Well, congratulations, definitely in order. And for those that perhaps did not score the A's, the A-, the B+ of this world, and you're on the other side, well, it's not all lost, all right? You can still make something out of it. That said, today is a game of numbers when we give these results, and we want to do a comparison of the results of KCSE 2021 vis-a-vis the results of 2022 as released today by CS Ezekiel Mashogu. Take a look. All right, now the government through the Ministry of Education has moved to provide interim guidelines on the junior secondary schools. Speaking during the release of the 2022 Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education results, Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Mashogu announced that grade 7 learners will report to school on the 30th of this month, saying the government will spend 9.6 billion on capitation grants to learners of junior secondary school for term 1 and 2, with each learner receiving about 15,000 shillings per year.
The Ministry of Education has released interim guidelines that are expected to guide schools on qualifications for members of boards of management. Speaking during the release of 2022 Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education results, Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu said that the government will spend 18 billion shillings on junior secondary school in the next financial year.
That grade 7 runners will report their respective schools on January 30th, 2023. Additionally, I also announced that the government will spend 9.6 billion on capitation grants to runners of junior secondary school for term 1 and term 2.
In the interim guidelines, the CS said the public junior secondary schools will be headed by the head teacher of the public primary school that domiciles during the transition period.
The board of management of a primary school that domiciles the junior secondary school will constitute a special subcommittee to spearhead the management of education and the resources of the school. The head of the primary school that domiciles the junior secondary school will serve as a secretary, while the chairperson will be a member of the committee.
The CS revealed that schools will be expected to use 4,000 shillings on infrastructure development.
In the next financial year, the government will spend 18 billion for the junior secondary school runners capitation grants. Further to this, I now wish to state that of the 15,000 that will be released for each runner, 4,000 will be spent on the development of infrastructure, with the greatest priority being on reparatories.
All right, indeed, you're watching Easy Friday tonight. Of course, we've been bringing you a detailed coverage of those KCSE results 2022 as released earlier today by Education CS Ezekiel Machogu. My good friend who's called Lollipop was really mad at me on text saying, where, it's Machogu. Many thanks for that, Lollipop. Totally appreciate it. Let's take a breather. We're back in Maryland.
Nimesahau kucheza Loto Moto. Usisahau kucheza Loto Moto. Shinda milioni 2 kila siku kwenye M-Pesa. Chagua lipa na M-Pesa. Paybill number 757070. Account number andika neno Loto. Kisha weka star na nambari yako ya simu. Weka kiwango chochote cha pesa kuanzia shilingi 50 hadi 2,000.
Aulali.
Lipa kisha subiri draw. Welala. Nitakutimizia ndoto zako. Milioni 2 usiamini. Ujumbe huu umeidhinishwa na BCLB.
You're not accepting the truth that you're handling this the very wrong way.
Mwanze pia nyinyi kuangalia maisha yenu. Kwenda zako Nairobi.
Is this petrol? Oh, hi. I'm sorry, but are you lost?
Not lost, I'm in the right place.
Kama unatia maana kuniambia kwa heri.
Mama Jane, mimi na wewe hatuna maisha mrefu ya kuishi katika hii dunia. Sana sana mimi.
If Mama Jane wants her place back, then she should fight for it. I'd fight harder.
Don't you men just love it when women fight for you? Pete, what's going on here?
Come on, baby, calm down.
Hi, Mama Felix.
Tumefanya ile kitu.
Kitu gani?
Jumapili hii kwenye runinga ya KBC, ungana naye Askofu Michael Wanderi wa kanisa la Christian Foundation Fellowship Kiambu kuanzia saa 1 hadi saa 2 asubuhi.
Ningetaka nikwambie, our Jehovah God, because the Bible says he is the same yesterday, today and forevermore. He is able to take you to a place of abundance. He is able to take you to Rehoboth in the name of Jesus Christ.
Kipindi ni neno la neema ukiletewa naye Askofu Michael Wanderi wa kanisa la Christian Foundation Fellowship Kiambu. Usikose.
My trust is in you.
I want you to investigate everything about that darn veterinarian. And when I say everything, I mean everything.
I came back because I just want to know if I still have a job here.
Be quiet. I don't want to talk to you. Alonso, answer me.
Did you go into town to meet up with Rodrigo?
I wish there was something I could do to get him off my back. But I can't. That man Matakan is evil. If I had the courage, I would have already put an end to this suffering. We must seek justice, Rodrigo. Promise me you will do it. Promise me you will avenge Tulio. Swear to me, son.
Do you have a news story to share with KBC? Get in touch swiftly on email news@kbc.co.ke or call 0723-892-654 or 0734-780-124.
All right, a warm welcome back to Easy Friday. Water and Sanitation CS Alice Wahome's convoy was today caught up in a shootout between cattle rustlers and KWS officers in Marsabit. The CS was in the county to inspect a water and sewerage system project. The Water Cabinet Secretary had just concluded inspecting the construction of Bakuli Dam near Marsabit Forest when her convoy suddenly ran into a shootout. The bandits had reportedly killed an elderly herder at the Marsabit Catholic Shrine area in Sakusabu County before driving away 100 goats and 135 cattle, which were later recovered by police. The bandits later escaped into Marsabit Forest, where they bumped into KWS officers. A shootout ensued, leading to the injury of one of the bandits, who escaped with gunshot wounds. CS Wahome was evacuated safely from the scene and later proceeded with her journey to Marsabit Police Station, where she took a flight.
Bakuli 4 is a new dam project, and it may look like we are building on what there was, but that is true because we needed to enhance the volume, the capacity of this dam to give us more water than it was producing. We need 5 million cubic liters of water eventually, but per day we need to produce that amount of water for this town.
All right, now Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has met Jubilee members of Parliament from the Mount Kenya region in what is seen as keeping to the promise of solidifying the vote-rich bloc. Touted as a development championing meeting, the Deputy President met, among others, East African Legislative Assembly legislator Kanini Kega, nominated Member of Parliament Sabina Chege, and the host of Jubilee elected lawmakers from Nyandarua, Nakuru and Meru counties. The Deputy President in November had promised to unite the region without regard to political affiliation. Now, preparations at the Kitale ASK showground are complete ahead of the installation ceremony of Father Henry Juma Odonya as the Kitale Catholic Bishop. President William Ruto is expected to witness the installation ceremony that's happening tomorrow.
The Catholic faithfuls in Kitale were Friday overcome with joy as they welcomed their Bishop-elect Henry Juma of Catholic Diocese of Kitale. At Moy's Bridge, The border between Uasin Gishu and Trans Nzoia counties, 46-year-old Henry Juma, accompanied by residents and a host of local leaders from the two counties, was welcomed by outgoing Bishop Maurice Corley of the Catholic Diocese of Kitale in a colorful ceremony.
You come to the bridge, one side of it is Eldoret, the other side of it is Kitale. And his jurisdiction would stop at the bridge, halfway in the middle of the Nzoia.
Bishop-elect Juma will tomorrow be installed as the second bishop of Catholic Diocese of Kitale in a religious ceremony to be held at the Kitale ASK showground.
Been here for 5 years as a parish priest, and he went off and he went to Rome, and then he was working in South Africa when he was told he was to be Bishop of Kitale. So he's an experienced man.
Nimeguzwa sana katika moyo wangu kuwaona kwa wingi hivi, na ninaombi kwenu, ninaomba muweze kuniombea tafadhali.
A good foundation has been laid, and that is all. I'm satisfied with what I'm doing. I just think it's a pity that I'm so old. But that's no problem.
Bishop-elect Juma will be replacing Bishop Maurice Crowley, whose resignation was accepted by the Pope last year.
Maybe siwezi kusema kitu kwa ajili ya mimi na pumziki sasa.
Meanwhile, preparations at the Kitale ASK showground are in their final stages ahead of President William Ruto arrival, who will witness the installation ceremony. Trans Nzoia leaders expect to get attention of the president on several issues they want the head of state to address, among them establishment of a public university in the county and the resettlement of squatters. Wairu Mujenga for Easy Friday.
All right, now a presiding officer from one of the polling stations in the Eldas constituency has denied facing any challenges in the disputed August 9th, 2022 parliamentary elections. Ali Ibrahim was testifying before Justice Stephen Riechi in an election petition filed by ODM candidate Ahmed Bore, disputing the win of Eldas Member of Parliament Adan Kainan.
Eldas constituency election petition continued on Friday morning before Justice Stephen Riechi, with the presiding officer from one of the polling stations in Eldas, Ali Ibrahim, a teacher, saying he had no challenges at his station.
The petitioner contends that there is a variance of 13. Is there any variance between what was captured in your kiosk and what you declared in the Form 35A, the result declaration form? No. There was no variance.
Ali was however put to task to explain claims of voter malpractice in the region to which he disputed.
So did you leave with electoral materials out of the Eldas CDF hall on the 8th?
No. The election petition was lodged by ODM candidate Ahmed Bore, disputing the win of Adan Kainan. The hearing continues before Justice Stephen Riechi. Meanwhile, the scrutiny of ballot papers from 27 polling stations in Mandera North constituency has entered the second day at the Milimani lockout. This is after Mohammed Farah Badad of Jubilee filed a petition disputing the results announced, declaring UDM candidate Bashir Shah Abdullahi as the elected winner Mandera North. During the process, a discrepancy was noted in the tallying and recording of certain stations.
We would see that the number of votes garnered by that respondent, Mr. Bashir, according to this form is 66 votes. According to the tally sheet, it is 16.
And Kilifi Governor Gideon Mung'aro Friday faced off with his political nemesis, Nairobi lawyer George Keith, during the hearing of a case challenging the former's election victory.
100,000.
Mung'aro appeared before Lady Justice Anne Adwara Onginjo as a respondent in the case, while Keith, who was a candidate during the August 2022 Kilifi gubernatorial contest, appears as an advocate for the petitioners. The petition was filed by 3 voters: Justin Bringa Chirume, Justin Charubaya, and Salim Chaitsui. The three petitioners claim there were massive irregularities during the Kilifi gubernatorial elections and want the court to nullify Mungaro's election and order fresh polls. Seraphine Robi for Easy Friday.
All right, now nominated Senator Karen Nyamo has been allowed more time to respond to indiscipline allegations leveled against her by a party member. Appearing before the UDA disciplinary committee chaired by Charles Jenga today, the legislator urged the committee to give her more time to gather documents crucial to her case. The senator, whose conduct while on a private tour in Dubai in December last year caused an uproar on social media, was given 14 days to respond, and her case will now be heard on the February of the 24th this year. A disciplinary case facing a Kericho member of County Assembly Speaker Patrick Mutai following chaos in the chambers on Friday last week will also be heard on that particular date.
Certain things that we cannot disclose now, but they're in the proceedings. They sought more time, they sought 14 days. They also sought some documents from the party that are the basis of the complaint. We allowed both applications, and the matter will now be for hearing on the 24th of February. So for today, we did not hear those matters. Upon the direction of the party, we are holding them in abeyance for 2 weeks to await and see how the implementation of the agreement shall be, whether the parties shall abide by the terms of the various by the various agreements and resolutions made. If they do, I think the party shall consider withdrawing the complaints. If they don't, the party will consider prosecuting those complaints.
All right, now, the final vow of commitment to serving the church as a nun is a journey occasioned by years of study as well as additional years to reflect on whether one made the right decision. This week on My Culture, we take a look at the culmination of Sister Margaret Wairimu's journey to sisterhood through the Perpetual profession, which is an occasion to celebrate the lifetime commitment to serve God. Here is My Culture for this week.
Joy and celebration rent the air at the Shrine of the Holy Spirit Catholic Church in Minor Village in the outskirts of Nyahururu town. During a Thanksgiving ceremony by Reverend Sister Margaret Wairimu Moreithi, who took her final vows of commitment, commonly referred to as perpetual vows, to serve in the church. Through these vows, Sister now commits to a life of sacrifice, chastity, poverty, and obedience to Christ's teachings.
Sisi tuko na furaha, hata siku ya leo tunafurahia na tumeona mambo mengi mazuri kwa sababu mtoto hata mahali yako anapendwa sana na watu.
During the profession, her bridesmaids are fellow Catholic nuns. She is handed over to the church by her parents or their representatives, as is done in a conventional wedding.
Twashukuru Mungu kwa kipaji cha wito wa utawa katika shirika la Mtakatifu Yosefu.
has to respond to a series of questions regarding the acceptance of what is required in the new role.
Kwanza ni ile ambapo anajisikia kwamba ana wito, na anapojisikia kwamba ana ule wito anapiga hatua kumwendea na kutafuta shirika ambalo linaendana na maazimio yake, na kutoka hapo anapoenda kwa formation kwa miaka 4 anaweza kuwa amefundishwa kuhusu utawa.
After the special celebration, the 29-year-old nun dressed in Kikuyu traditional regalia symbolized her final steps towards dedicating her life to Christ, but this was done the Gikuyu traditional way. Sister Margaret cut and shared goat meat as the cake in a ceremony conducted by Kikuyu elders. Later on, she was made Anyakenywa, acquiring a higher status among women in the Gikuyu community.
Namshukuru Mungu kwa hapa amenifikisha, na ninazidi kumuomba anipe nguvu na anibariki na niwezeshe kuishi nadhiri ambazo nimemwekea.
Reporting for My Culture, I'm Jackie Wambiru.
All right, then we are looking at business news next, later sports. And speaking about sports, it's All Systems Go tonight. Actually, this is an event that's happening right now at the KICC. That's the Sports Personality of the Year Awards. That's the Soya Awards happening right now. You have a reporter, that's Buckley Feather, who is on the ground, will be compiling what is happening. It's the 19th edition, goes down tonight. It's happening tonight. Just to let you in on what's happening tonight, legendary Sevens rugby player Colin Sinjera, who is fresh by the way from being inducted in the Fiji Rugby Hall of Fame, is the celebrity guest. The chief guest is of course the Sports Cabinet Secretary, that's Babu Namwamba. We have former winners, marathon world record holder Eliud Kipchoge, Commonwealth and Africa 100 meters champion Ferdinand Omanyala, and Olympic and World 1500 meters champion Faith Chemgetich, who were some of the front runners in that particular event. As I mentioned, our reporter Buckley Feather will be compiling all those who win and the losers tonight, and will bring us that a bit later. That's it. It's time for us to focus on our business tonight. All right then, now the government has put state-owned enterprises on notice that they improve their efficiency so as to stop reliance on exchequer to fund their operations. National Treasury Principal Secretary Dr. Chris Kipto says there is need for reforms and a review of some of the 263 state-owned enterprises that have been perennial loss makers and hold most of the public debt.
Rigidity to adjust to the changing times and poor decisions are some of the issues that have been delivered some of the 263 state-owned enterprises, forcing them to remain dependent on the government to fund their operations. National Treasury Principal Secretary Dr. Chris Kipto says this has to come to an end. He says the government is reviving the state-owned enterprises with a focus on perennial loss makers and those not offering value for money.
Most of the public debt, public debt is actually held among the sagas. Majority of the pending bills are in the sagas. Majority of the stalled projects are in the sagas. I saw the stalled projects is estimated around 1.1 trillion. How can you preside over stalled assets of that magnitude?
Dr. Kipto said the government is concerned about the pending bills and rising public debt, most of which are held by the 263 state-owned enterprises.
We want to see a decision taken on idle projects, Some projects are stalled because of contractual issues, which when you look at them keenly, they are as a result of poor decision making.
He is also concerned about the high number of stalled projects worth 1.1 trillion shillings among the state-owned enterprises and the semi-autonomous government agencies. Frederick Moki for Easy Friday.
Nimesahau kucheza Loto Moto. Usisahau kucheza Loto Moto. Shinda milioni 2 kila siku kwenye M-Pesa. Chagua lipa na M-Pesa. Paybill number 757070. Account number andika neno Loto. Kisha weka star na nambari yako ya simu. Weka kiwango chochote cha pesa kuanzia shilingi 50 hadi 2000.
Aulali.
Lipa kisha subiri draw. Welala. Nitakutimizia ndoto zako. Milioni 2 usiamini. Ujumbe huu umeidhinishwa na BCLB.
Office of the Data Protection Commissioner, ODPC, was established under the Data Protection Act 2019. The office's key mandate includes regulating the processing of personal data, ensuring the processing of personal data is guided by the principles set out in the Act, protecting the privacy of individuals, establishing the legal and institutional mechanism to protect personal data, and providing data subjects with rights and remedies to protect their personal data. Join the ODPC as we commemorate Data Privacy Day on the 26th and 27th of January 2023, starting 8 a.m. at the Kenyatta International Convention Center under the theme, Promoting Data Protection in a Digitally Transformed Economy. This event will be aired live on KBC Channel 1 on 27th January from 8 a.m.
Athletics Kenya Cross Country Series climaxes this Saturday, January 21st at Kenya Prisons Staff Training College, Ruiru, with the National Cross Country Championships. Kenya's cross-country luminaries will compete in the event, which is also a gateway to a slot in the forthcoming World Athletics and Cross Country Championship due in February in Australia. Catch the National Cross Country Championship live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1 on Saturday from 8:30 a.m. KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Lakini Kinyanji, unapendanga fujo sana wewe?
I like it when the bullies get bullied.
So what changes are coming?
Oh yes, about that.
By the way, guys, I'm leaving you.
Why can't you wait until I finish talking, eh? Why can't you wait until I finish delivering my news?
Kinyanji, delivering is for pregnant women. Are you a woman? But you can also be pregnant with very good news. Kinyanji, deliver.
Hata mimi mazee usikija jana sikuwa na kurada. Kuna vile unajua kuzitoka madam.
Did you forget that you were pregnant with the twins?
Oh, sorry guys, blame it on the baby's brain,
Now, there have been varying opinions in regards to wife inheritance, with others claiming that it is a backward and inferior practice and should be discarded, and others claiming that no, it holds some significant value.
Remember, when the kings want to marry, normally they do selection and find out where to get a wife.
Yes.
This is more of genealogy or genes, continuity of genes.
But again, the person who paid the dowry to have the woman is dead now. Why would I stay where the marriage certificate, even the marriage certificate given at the civil registrar's office, I think it becomes null and void.
Yes, it's nullified upon
death. It is nullified upon death.
Ni vizuri vile walikuwa nasema ati unaweza chukua a man from the family. But mimi I tried it. Nilijaribu kuchukua shemeji yangu na nilichokutana naye hata siwezi eleza.
All right, then let's speak sports now. And we will start off with volleyball, where former African Queens Kenya Pipeline trounced defending champions Prisons Kenya by 3 straight sets as the Kenya Volleyball Federation League playoffs served off Friday at Kasarani Indoor Gymnasium. Meanwhile, reigning African champions KCB defeated DCI by 3 sets to 2 in the second match of those particular playoffs, giving you those results. Now let's look at athletics, and Athletics Kenya will host the National Cross Country Championships on Saturday at the Kenya Prison Staff Training College in Ruiru. I'm being informed by Ms. Hemstone on the other side. We have not fully finished up on business tonight. Let's revert back to that. That's right, Hemstone? All right, thank you for that. All right, the National Biosafety Authority is rooting for adoption of GMO crops to guarantee yields and boost food security in Kenya. The authority has assured the Parliamentary Committee on Agriculture, inquiring about sustainability of GMOs, that Kenya will gradually lift the ban and that only a select number of GMO crops will be allowed for cultivation in Kenya to protect export markets.
Debate has been raging since last year after the government lifted the ban on the importation and use of GMOs in Kenya. The National Assembly's Committee on Agriculture has since Wednesday been receiving views from various professionals and experts. Today, it was the turn of the National Biosafety Authority, noting that it is not a blanket lifting, rather it is gradual and will target a few select food crops.
There will be availability of PT maize seed that will be grown within farmer fields in the next season for purposes of multiplication, seed multiplication, and also purposes of farmer-to-farmer education, so that other farmers can see what is happening.
The regulator has assured Kenyans that GMO foods are safe for consumption and will monitor the GMO maize for 20 years once it is fully commercialized, to ensure food safety standards are upheld.
As a robust biosafety regulatory framework that is sufficient to ensure the safety of human health, animal health, and the provision of an adequate protection of the environment.
This has no doubt whatsoever that the BT maize is safe for release to the Kenyan farmers.
Kalro says it has 10 tons of 3 GMO maize varieties that will be released to the market once the ban is lifted.
When the ban is lifted, we are ready to move in and produce certified seed within a season or so.
However, the Kenya Plant Health Inspectorate Service has raised concern that Kenyan horticultural exports might be subjected to double non-GMO certification, both locally and in export destinations, if the GMO ban is lifted.
So long as we are given that certificate and we have stated that is non-GMO, it will be accepted anywhere. If we say it's GMO, those countries which don't like GMO, we won't export to them, but we will be able to export to those countries who accept.
Benson Druba for Easy Friday.
All right, then now at least 2.1 million farmers in 12 pilot counties will be receiving the first batch of subsidized fertilizer through cooperative offices in their respective wards. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua says 4.2 million bags of fertilizer will be availed before the onset of the long rains, and an e-voucher system will be deployed to keep track of distribution at every stage to ensure accountability.
A bag of fertilizer in Kenya has for months been retailing at an average cost of 6,000 shillings per 50 kilo bag, a price most farmers had said was too high. Last September, the government rolled out a subsidized fertilizer program, which would cost a farmer at most 3,500 shillings per 50 kilo bag, provided they register for it online. So far, 4 million farmers have signed up for the program.
The Kenya National Trading Corporation, KNTC, and the National Cereals and Produce Board, NSPB, are in the process of distributing the fertilizer in your counties in readiness for the rains.
Gachagua says 6 million bags are ready for distribution, but the pilot phase will see 4.2 million bags being availed in 12 select counties.
This will ensure more farmers are able to access affordable fertilizer distributed close to them.
The government has identified 3 more counties with huge food production potential, and efforts are underway to promote crop production there.
Through the Department of Cooperatives, we identified about 3 counties that can be supported to bridge that gap. And working through this arrangement, I am no doubt in my mind we will be able to bridge that challenge.
Farmers will, however, only be allowed to purchase the subsidized fertilizer based on the acreage of their land, with the fertilizer options being limited to the crop types they grow.
We have done this in full realization that the previous subsidy programs have faced numerous challenges. These include, but not limited to, inadequate coverage of farmers, long distances for fertilizer access, and more importantly, lack of accountability and transparency in the distribution.
Hibak Said for Easy Friday.
All right, and now indeed it's time for sports. Let's sport tonight on Easy Friday. And those results, as I had mentioned earlier, the volleyball results were former African Queens. That's Kenya Pipeline trounced defending champions Prisons Kenya by 3 straight sets, as the Kenya Volleyball Federation's League playoffs served off at Kasarani Indoor Gymnasium today. Meanwhile, reigning African champions KCB defeated DCI by 3 sets to 2 in the second match of the playoffs.
The Paul Gitao judges came into the match focused to extend their dominance after finishing at the top of the log in the regular season. Led by hard-hitting Pamela Thiambo, Gladys Ekaru, Teresa Atuka, Agrippina Akundu and Rose Magoi, Pipeline labored before bagging the first set 25-23. Prisons Kenya under Jos Baraza fought hard in the second set, led by Blackside Agala, Yvonne Wavinya and Laureen Chebet, but lost the set 25-18. Pipeline, who fielded a youthful side, went on to win the third set 25-19 to register a crucial win.
For us, we play one match at a time. So today we are to face the defending champions, Kenya Prisons, and we have done what brought us here. So now our next focus is our next match tomorrow, where we are going to play the DCI. We just go one by one, so our now focus is on the DCI. I can just say for our team, we were all psyched up and prepared for the match. We finished at the table at number 1, so we are doing as much as possible to ensure that we remain at number 1. So that's what we are doing right now.
Meanwhile, reigning African champions KCB defeated DCI by 3 sets to 2 in the second match of the playoffs. Kenya Pipeline will face DCI in the second match on Saturday, where reigning African champions KCB will take on Prisons Kenya. The winners will represent Kenya at the Africa Volleyball Club Championships. King Orimwangi for Channel 1 Sports.
All right, now Athletics Kenya will host the National Cross Country Championships tomorrow at the Kenya Prisons Staff Training College in Ruto. The national event is a climax of the AK Cross Country weekend meets, which are held in various counties. The championship will be staged as a World Athletics Bronze category event. Athletics Kenya has invited athletes from Uganda, Tanzania, DRC Congo and refugees team to compete during the championship. Now this championship will feature 5 events. That's the 10 kilometer senior men, 10 kilometer senior women, the 8 kilometers under 20 men, the 6 kilometers under 20 women, and the universal mixed relay. Remember that this event will be beamed live right here on KBC Channel 1. Right now, over 200 CAF D level coaches graduated today across the country. The coaches graduated after concurrent coaching courses offered by Football Kenya Federation in Rumuruti, Webuye, Nairobi West, Mombasa and Thika. The CAF D coaching course is the entry-level coaching qualification recognized by CAF and is recommended for grassroots coaches. Speaking at the closing ceremony of the course in Nairobi West, FKF Vice President Doris Petra said FKF was committed to building the capacity of coaches in the country. Former internationals Ali Brick and Joseph Shikokoti graduated in Mombasa and Nairobi West, respectively.
Kuelewa zaidi ndio akisali naenda kupeana maybe kupass knowledge pale kwa grassroots pia inakuwa na pass the maybe the right knowledge pia.
It will make a lot of impact if we really want to change our game. It's good that we train the coaches and they start training the boys and the girls when they're still young. So by the time they attain the ages of playing in the national teams or participating in the national teams, then it will be good for us because we will have players who will have passed through qualified coaches.
Well, it's a Super Sunday in the EPL. I remember watching Manchester United playing Tottenham. A whole lot of adrenaline. Well, Manchester City coming from behind to beat Tottenham 4-2. Just to let you know what's happening tomorrow. Let's look at those fixtures. Where are these fixtures? Liverpool will be in action tomorrow. And of course, Arsenal will be also in action. That's on Sunday, playing Manchester United, and a whole lot more. We will have all the fixtures for you and the results of the matches tomorrow, even as we continue to brief you on that sporting weekend. Karen Kibet will be here to bring you all that. On that note, it's time for us to wrap up Easy Friday tonight. That's on the first beat where we bring you up to date with the news that's shaping up. After this, we have DJ Cole Jax, who will be continuing with Easy Friday. Of course, bring a whole lot of musical experience tonight, so stick around for that. On behalf of the whole team, we thank you most sincerely for watching. My name is John Kago. Good night. So long.
Have one question. Have you got what you deserve? Have you lived every day like it was a lie? Have you lived in every moment and forgot about the past? That you've been calling for me, and I've been calling for you. But now you have all these questions, so now what you gonna do? See the pain in her eyes. The best things are free in life. Sometimes it's bad to see right. No woman, no cry tonight. And I know what's on your mind, and I see it all the time. I can see from all the signs, 'cause you know my love's divine. It's like you got a magic potion, the way I'm a
evening. My name is Vivian Dago. You can simply just call me Miss V, and I'm going to be your host for tonight on Easy Friday. And with me on set today is an artist who is Kenyan but based in the USA. He is an iconic, award-winning international artist whose style of music is world music, among other genres in there. Kindly help me welcome in studio the one, the only, King Kanja.
Hey.
Whoop, 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 whoop. We have no audience.
I know, don't worry. We can hear the yelling.
How you doing, King Kanja?
I'm great. I'm just happy to be, in the beautiful city of Nairobi. It's always good to be home, just to be amongst the people and just the vibes, and I'm inspired, and I've been in the studio just creating, so I'm happy.
It's good to have you here, and I feel like I keep saying this with most artists, but I just have to say it because you really look nice.
Oh, thank you.
And I love the hat. I feel like it just completes your entire look. Does it have a name?
Thank you. The standard name for it is a kufi, but all my crowns are like, I call them crowns. They're originally made, shout out my designer. She's like amazing. This is my new set. I always make a new round of hats for every year. So this year I got like 20 new hats. So it's going down.
You mentioned it's your crown. Come on now. You're the king.
Yeah,
King Kanja.
You got to have your crown. So.
I see. I love it. So tell us a bit about who King Kanja is.
Man, King Kanja is a businessman, an artist, a father. I became a father, my son is about a year and a year and 5 months. His name is Moses, aka Mosey, which means firstborn, and his mom is Somali, Somali Canadian, so he's East African to the core. That's been a highlight, And of course, I'm a musician. I own a record label. I try to push forward artists, especially from Kenya, East Africa. And, I'm an entertainer. I work with nonprofits all over the world. I just try to make a world a better place and try to inspire through music.
You mentioned that you just became a father. How is fatherhood taking you?
Fatherhood is so different. It's so different, just watching him and then watching him watch me. It's very inspiring, Just a little guy, Just watching him grow up is a beautiful thing. So I'm proud. I'm proud to be a father. I'm looking forward to getting back to visit him in Toronto, Canada. And it's a beautiful thing.
All right, we love to hear that. Now, you are a Kenyan.
Yes.
Right? But you were born in London and now are based in the USA.
Yes.
Tell us about that transition.
Yeah, my parents moved to the US when I was about 4 or 5, and my younger brother, he's 2 years younger, he was about 3. And we've lived there ever since, but we would come to Kenya every summer. So, so I still speak Kikuyu with my show, And I'm actually going to see her in Gong. She's in Gong Town. And, it was a great... I saw the world from such a young age that it just helped keep my mind open. So after I finished uni, I just got into music. I got on BET my senior year at my university, Hampton University, and it just catapulted me into the music industry and led to my first meeting with Akon and Universal Motown, and I've been doing it ever since.
Yeah. Speaking about you winning at the 109 Park?
106 and Park.
106 and Park, sorry.
On BET.
106 and Park on BET. How was that like? And just winning, being in that whole competition and winning, the experience?
I was the first African Kenyan to win anything on BET, and that was a historic moment, pinnacle point in my career. And I won with like 4 to 7 million viewers. And I was celebrated all around the world, and it was just a surreal experience. Because I remember praying to God backstage in the BET office in New York, and I was like, if I win this, I will never stop. And I've never stopped.
While in the competition, did you believe you could win? Or I know you mentioned that you talked to God and you were like, if I win this, but did you actually believe you're gonna get this? Like, was it something when you were getting into it, you were just...
I'm very competitive, so I saw the other 2 artists I was competing against, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna destroy them. I used to be a basketball player, so that's where I got my competitive nature from. Being in a game, knowing how to win and how to feel how it feels to lose, and I just knew I was gonna win. I think it was just destined, and it just helped me catapult, representing Kenya even further.
Yeah.
Because on the screen it said from Nairobi, Kenya.
Mm.
Because a lot of Kenyans go abroad into the diaspora and start claiming like, oh, I'm from Maryland or I'm from New York. Or I've never ever said that. I've always said I'm from Kenya. So, yeah.
And having that catapult you into the music scene, you know, having that being your way of getting into the music scene, I'm sure that was big for you. And just how has that journey been ever since?
I mean, it's been amazing. Now, I'm good friends with my friend Bobby V, personally, formerly known as Bobby Valentino. I'm friends with Wyclef. Like now I'm at a level where I'm friends with my people I used to watch and listen to, and I'm just happy making music, And I just did a song with Boutros last night, who has the hottest song in East Africa, Angela.
Yeah.
And we just did a crazy, crazy song last night. So I'm excited about that. I just love doing anything East Africa. I feel like the West has been controlling the music scene as far as the Afro beats and stuff, and I just feel like it's our time. So, yeah.
Since you've lived there, or rather you even live there, what are they doing that we are not doing, for our music to just go that global?
I think unifying. Artists need to come together, like just where me and Boutros just came together. Like I applaud him because, usually when somebody got a hit, they don't work with nobody. You know what I mean? But he was just open. He just knew like my fan base over there and, and my engagement over here and his fan base. We would just that's what crossover music is. Being able to cross over. So doing the right collaboration. So I think with us, we'll push that boundary, so it's going to be dope.
I hear you. And I can't wait for that. Abanga. I don't know, could it be the remix of Angela Baby?
No. It's a completely, we did a song from scratch. And it's like, I'll call it Angela's sister. We're going to call the song Fatima. It's not called Fatima, but I'm just saying that's just the, analogy for it. But when you hear the song, you understand why I said that. But it's a dope record.
So when should we be expecting that release?
We're actually planning to shoot the video. So once we get that video done, I'll probably won't be in the country when it drops, but it's going to be coming soon. Or I might be, you never know.
You just might never know.
Yeah.
All right. So how do you describe world music, or rather, what is world music as a genre?
World music is music that hits not just where it came from, but everywhere around the world. And everybody, even if they don't understand it, can feel it and enjoy it. That's world music.
But you also do some hip-hop?
Yeah, I started in hip-hop. I do R&B, Afro beats, reggae. I'd heard somebody had written an article about me, said I was the first Kenyan to do a full grassroots reggae album. So I did the Vibrations reggae album. I have Nyanda on there from Brick and Lace on Different Vibration. It was just an amazing album. Shout out Gilly, Train 9 Records in Miami. The Jamaicans, they're amazing, creative. So, it's been dope.
All right. So if there's it's a time where Afrobeat is really being embraced in the world, and we actually have we're going to be having it on BET, the awards. Right, you know about that?
Yeah.
Like it's going to be part of the categories, that is in the BET. Do you feel like that is the way to go, and should we as Kenyans try to do more of such beats to get recognized as well? Or
I mean, I think Kenya has its own sound. If you hear the Angela song, like it has very Kenyan, you know what I mean? So it's not necessarily like it has to be Afro beats. I think Afro beats is just the name that this genre has become. But Afro beats is expanded to Afro pop, Afro fusion, but we just have to be in amongst the conversation, but it's in good hands.
So we don't really need to go the Afrobeat way, because I'm feeling like most artists in the country right now are trying to go the Afrobeat way.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just say, just keep it African, keep it Kenyan. The lyrics is what will make it Kenyan, and the artist. The music could be from anywhere, but it's the artist that makes it what it is.
What inspires your music?
I don't know, it's just a feeling you get when you're in the studio creating, and I don't know, just raising that flag. Like I'm trying to be the first Kenyan artist to bring a Grammy home, I'm chasing the Grammy. I'm part of the Grammy board actually for the LA chapter. So I can actually submit records in the Grammys because I've lived in LA a lot, but my inspiration is life and family and just doing what you love every day. That's my inspiration. Like, I love waking up every day to music. Doing music is just a surreal feeling, and I'm happy to do that.
Your collaborations, how do you pick on who to collaborate with?
I honestly don't pick. It just happens. I'm a viber. That's why one of my albums called Vibe Lord. I just create vibes, and I attract it. Law of attraction and manifestation. Like, it just happens. So
Yeah. Speaking about albums, how many albums do you have out?
I think I got 4 albums. I got the Vibes EP, the Mashaki EP, Vibe Lord, and the Vibrations, and then I got the Kanja album that I'm working on. I'm just dropping singles right now. That's the next album. Then after that album, I got the Sovereign album. So I got a lot of different albums coming. I already know what, then I have a Bloodline album. So I got a couple albums I'm about to drop.
Yeah. Since you have a couple of albums and others yet to come, when do you know when to release what song? Because I feel like as artists, you have so many songs that you've just recorded, but it's about the time of releasing. So how do you go about choosing, okay, this one has been here for a while, so I feel like I'm going to release it now, or just what inspires when you're going to release a
Honestly,
song?
just wake up and just decide, because I run my label. I can hit the distribution anytime, like I want to release this date, this date. So for me, I'm ready anytime. Like, I just wake up and decide, but I always try to give it a 3-week gap so I can submit to playlists and everything, but I'm always ready.
Let's talk about your record label. Tell me about it.
Yeah, King Kanja Empire. I have one artist, she's 16, Kenyan, grew up in the U.S. She's so smart, so ahead of her time. We put out her first record when she was 14. Her name is Audrey Henya. Check out her music. We dropped the single Suddenly featuring myself. Shout out Spotify Kenya and Spotify Africa. They always support. They put that in the Nairobi playlist on Spotify. I have the new song Malaya. Interesting title. Which, if you listen to it, it's like wordplay. I got Kai Cash on it, who's hip-hop royalty. He was the son of BK Rube with Junior Mafia. BK Rube was from Junior Mafia with Notorious B.I.G. And actually R&B Grammy-winning singer Faith Evans introduced us, because I know her through my producer, Chucky Thompson, who passed away. It's my OG, my mentor, who did amazing, did the Mary J. Blige My Life album, Big Papa, Nas One Mike, legend. But he was my mentor, taught me the game, taught me how to find my frequency in music. So, yeah.
What would it take for one to be signed under the King Kanja Empire record label?
My social handles are King Kanja, KINGKANJA. Honestly, when people send me music, I listen. My email is kingkanjaempire@gmail.com. So those who know, they're going to shoot. I feel like you never know what shot is going to hit unless you take it. And I was that person that took those shots. So for me, at this point, I want to provide opportunities that I didn't get. I had to work a lot harder to get it, but that's so I can provide it for other people. You know what I mean?
You just mentioned about Boutros and you having a song with him coming up. Who are some of the artists from Kenya that you're feeling at the moment that you listen to their music and maybe you'd love to work with them as well?
I'm good friends with Bien, so I'd hit Bien up when I got in town. He was coming from Ghana, so we talked about doing something. I like what Sauti Soul's doing, but those are the 2 artists, Boutros and maybe the Sauti Soul. We'll see whether we can make something happen. But that's who I'm eyeing right now. That's what I've been exposed to so far. So,
do they listen to our music out there, like in the clubs? Is there a point where you're gonna hear us Kenyan
The Kenyans
song?
do, but if I'm somewhere that's not Kenyans or Tanzanians or East Africans, I don't hear it. But that's what we're trying to get to, because you're always gonna hear a Burna Boy song, right?
Yeah.
So is that a fly? Okay.
Yeah, it's moving around.
Yeah, I seen it, but yeah.
All right. So how do you feel about us taking our music out there? Is it up to us? Because there are people who complain, or rather we've had a conversation about Kenyans not listening to Kenyan music. That's why we don't get it out there, because we promote the Burna Boys of this world and the Chris Browns, but we do not listen to the Boutroses of Kenya and so forth and so on. Do you feel like that the way to put our music out there is by us listening to our music, or for you guys who are out there to be ambassadors of Kenyan music?
I mean, to be honest, I feel like it's the people who are running it that's the issue. There's a couple people that are doing it and pushing it. There's a couple people that are just playing gatekeepers. Even for when I was here in 2013, I lived here. There's a couple gatekeepers that would control what they, no matter how good it was. So I think you keep the good people and fire everybody else. That's how you're going to change the industry. We need new minds, new creatives, because all these older guys who've been running it forever, they're just trying to keep it a certain way, and it's not expanding. But other than that, you just got to let go of everybody.
So it's not really about us as the consumer
it
of the
is.
music?
The talent is already here. You know, like, for instance, if you look at Diamond, his biggest audience is Kenyans. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, until that narrative changes, but then again, it's like the exposure of Diamond here is bigger, but who's controlling that? The people running it, you know what I mean? So it just got to be like, you know, you pushing the Kenyan envelope here. No artist should be played more in Kenya than Kenyan artists. It should be like 10% everybody else, 90% Kenyan. When you come in Kenya, because if you go to Nigeria, you go to Ghana, you go to Tanzania, you're going to hear them more than us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you got to it got to start with that. But it's the people who controlling it, that's the issue, you know? So until the people change, it's not going to change. Yeah.
So you've performed on several stages across the world. Which was your favorite performance, and just why that audience?
I think one of my favorites was when I performed for President Uhuru Kenyatta, his final election rally in I think it was Uhuru Park.
Uhuru Park, yeah.
For like 100,000 people. That was epic. But the one that I felt like I engaged with the crowd the most was when I was performing with Bobby V in Abu Dhabi at the U.S. Air Force Base. That was surreal. Like, we started a mosh pit in the crowd. Crowd was going crazy. But I'm getting ready to do I got two shows, sold out shows in London in February 10th and 11th with my boy I Am Dulo, who's big on Instagram with the comedian jokes. Then I have a show in Jamaica with Bobby V February 18th, and then we'll be shooting a video. We have a brand new single, me and Bobby. We got a brand new single called Come Over. We got another single called Oceans of You. We might drop an EP together, but we got some crazy music on the way. Yeah.
Let's talk about MALIAH.
Yeah, I personified it. I personified the word because, you know, everybody has been in that situation, especially for a guy, you know. You didn't know, you know what I mean? You were lied to, you know, but I'm like very comedic with how I do things. It was just me making fun of that word, to be honest. But then I got Kai Cash, who's from Brooklyn, New York, and he's a big artist. You know, he's with Diddy's son, Christian Combs, who's known as King Combs. They're part of the CYN mob, their little crew. You know, let me not say little, they're big crew, you feel me? But they're younger than me, that's why I said that. But anyway. Yeah, so, you know, he's just an amazing talent, amazing artist. And his father's a legend. He's around, you know, legendary status.
Yeah, Diddy is
so, you know, it was just dope that we did that record. And he killed it. He inspired my verse, you know.
He inspired your verse?
Yeah, because when I sent him the hook only on the beat, and then he sent it back to me, and I heard his verse. I was like, oh my gosh. Played it on repeat like 20 times, and then I was like, okay, I had to write my verse. Like, I had to pen it. Yeah, it was dope.
So it's out already?
Yeah, it's out. It's
there?
everywhere. There's no video yet, but the song is out. Everybody go check out Malaya, spelled MALIAH. King Kanja, Kai Cash. It's available everywhere. You know, enjoy all the music I got out now. I got the song with Bobby V, Like This. Nyanda video, Different Vibration. I got Because of You.
Yeah.
You know, Singing to a Warm Either.
I mean, you've worked with all these big names.
Yeah.
You know, you're just dropping them. Ayanda, Bobby Valentino, like...
I'm about to do some big concerts out here. Look out for Faith Evans, and I talked to Wyclef the other day. That's like my big bro. He wants to come out here. You know, we about to change the game.
Yeah. What do you learn from working with? Okay, you're also a big name, but working with these big names, you know.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. They were big names before me.
Yeah. So what do you learn from that, and just how does it feel like working with them?
I mean, it's like you can be a fan of somebody, but when you're so much doing you, you just align with them. So it's like I respect what they've done, but they respect what I do. So it just goes hand in hand because everyone's a real person. They're just respected for what they do. So when you respect for what you do, it just comes together and boom, another hit, another record, another collab, another show. You know?
Do you have a favorite record, maybe?
At this point, I got too many songs. Even the ones coming out, like I don't even know what to love more than the other. They're all my children.
And which one do you feel like Kenyans have kind of embraced it more than
I always see
other
Kenyans
songs?
talking about my latest called Because of You, because I start with the, she said her name is Amaida, she have Kikuyu and Taita, you know what I mean? And that song just, you know, and it's produced by Kenyan, it's produced by Giggs, who's Kenyan in Houston. Fun fact about Giggs, he is the one who recorded Thames on the record Essence at his studio.
Oh, really? The big song
Kenyan,
Essence.
yeah. If you look up the credits, you'll see Giggs there. Jenga. So yeah, it's been an amazing, amazing experience.
That's wonderful. As we are about to wind up, you can just let people know where they can find you and your music.
Yes, you can find me everywhere. King Kanja, Kingkanja, and catch me in the city near you. And you look amazing, by the way. I didn't get to talk about your outfit. You glistening, so you know.
Thank you. I try at times. So you're in Kenya for a minute.
Till
Are
the
we
end
gonna
of the
see
month.
you perform? Maybe. Do you have a performance?
Probably. We're gonna work it out. I'm gonna set it up, trust me. I'm gonna knock out a show too.
All right. We'll be waiting for that. We can't wait to attend one of your shows right here in the 254. That is King Kanja.
Yeah.
And as you guys have heard, he is a big artist who is representing us very well out there. He is really flying the flag up high. And before I sign out, is there anything maybe I didn't ask and you would have loved to talk about?
I think you hit the nail on the head. So, I mean, you asked
We good?
me everything. Yeah, we good.
All right, we good. Now, before I leave you guys, I'm going to leave you with King Kanja probably playing us something. Do you mind, like, giving us a little bit of something before we sign out?
Let me see. What can I do?
Just a little something.
Let me think. I'm trying to think. I don't know. Which song would you like to hear? Let me ask you.
Malaya.
Woo!
Should I say Malia? Because that word is really making me feel some type of way.
I know that song is
Malia.
like because
Malia.
of you. Because of you, now I'm a masterpiece. You know. You know, what part did I do? I'm trying to think what should I do that's clean enough. Said it's a different vibration. Said it's a different vibration. You know, that's the one with me and Nyanda. So, you know, just a little something. You know, it's hard because when I perform, I usually have like the team, the dancers, and you know, but that's just a little something.
I think next time when you come, we're gonna ask you to come with your dancers so that you put an entire show for us. Before I finish, another question has just come to mind. You put in some little bit of Swahili and some Kikuyu in your songs. Is that intentional?
Yeah, that's my way of just showing love. Like, no matter what genre I'm doing, like, the Kenyans know, like, yo, he's still rapping us. So I always drop in a word or two, you know? So, yeah.
Okay. That's King Kanja for you guys. Thank you so much for gracing our studios today. We appreciate.
For sure.
I have been your girl, Vivian Dagwa, or you can simply just call me Miss V for Easy Friday. And this is where I sign out. Have yourselves a lovely weekend.
To get Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5 as your skiza tune, dial star 811 star 967 hash.
Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not in your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight. Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5 to 6.
To get Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5, dial star 811 star 967 hash. Star 811 star 967 hash.
Kiswahili kitukuzwe.
Waswahili wanakuambia jifunze, ona, sema, elimika, pitia, hamasika. Ukipenda Josefu. Na hivi ndivyo tunavyoingia.
Ni Wakayole mzawa, masomo pia ajira. Alipofika kwa ziwa, ushamba ulimpura, kiboko kawazuzua. Wake ni simba marara.
Wanafunzi wanalazimika kutoka shuleni kila siku na kuenda nyumbani. Huo ni wakati ambao unapotezwa na inawafanya hao kutopata nafasi mkuu wa kusoma.
Je, hapo ulipo ungependa kuishi ukiwazia naweza kufa sekunde inayofuatia? Unaweza kutaka hilo?
Sasa kila mtu hapa umekuwa mtu mzima, wajua mapenzi, kutoka asubuhi utatoka kwenyu, umebeba mkoba wako, umeenda shuleni. Lakini ukifika katikati ya barabara, wajua nina mtu wangu pale, acha nikamuone. Hapo lakini ukiwa katika shule za bweni, asubuhi na mapema kutoka bweni, enda darasani, keti chini, soma.
Kiswahili kitukuzwe, kwani lugha ya.
Now, there have been varying opinions in regards to wife inheritance, with others claiming that it is a backward and inferior practice and should be discarded, and others claiming that no, it holds some significant value.
Remember, when the kings want to marry, normally they do selection and find out where to get a wife.
Yes.
This is more of genealogy or genes, continuity of genes.
But again, the person who paid the dowry to have the woman is dead now. Why would I stay where the marriage certificate, even the marriage certificate given at the civil registrar's office, I think it becomes null and void.
Yes, it's nullified upon
death. It is nullified upon death.
Vizuri vile walikuwa nasema ati unaweza chukua a man from the family. But mimi I tried it. Nilijaribu kuchukua shemeji yangu na nilichokutana naye hata siwezi eleza.
Next on Pakani.
We are officially conducting an inquest into the undercover operation dubbed Hidden Leaf. Tukisuspect wewe ama Sergeant Omwami cause failure to this mission, there will be repercussions.
Tumepata changamoto kwa mipango yetu, lakini jitku ukusojira.
Kurumu imane.
Mardo na kuhakikisha.
Mardo maakawada.
Hii mission ni classified. Hakuna mtu atajua. Only mimi na DIG.
If they need him alive, then we need him dead.
Jamaa, wamekuwa nani ndo waze kutupatia hizo order?